Today, we're going to talk about the brain science of setting intentions. People sometimes think setting intentions is something esoteric or mystical. It's not. It is scientific. Put in the comments if you ever experienced this. You decide to buy a certain car. You set the intention, I'm going to buy a red Ferrari, for example. And suddenly you see that car everywhere. You see that model everywhere. And before you didn't. Or you're in love with a certain person and you hear that person's name everywhere. You hear that name mentioned everywhere. Or you're studying a language. You're trying to learn a new word. You learn that new word and suddenly you see that word everywhere. You see it in articles, you hear people say it, and you feel like you've never even heard this word before. So comment what your experience was. Your brain has a filter called the reticular activating system, or the RAS. And your RAS has a very important job. It has to decide in real time what information is allowed to enter from your unconscious mind to your conscious mind. So your unconscious mind basically is aware of everything. Your conscious mind is aware of very limited number of things. So this is why your logical mind actually has fewer tools to work with than your unconscious. Your unconscious expresses itself in the body. So your unconscious picks up on everything, and then when you're like very tense around a person who with your mind, you're like, this person is perfectly nice, they seem perfectly lovely, why do I feel nauseous or tense or uncomfortable around them? That's your unconscious taking a lot more information. So let's look at how does the RAS decide, what criteria does it use to let things in and block things out? There are only 4 things that automatically get past the RAS to enter your conscious brain. The first, the sound of your name being called. You're going to react to that. The second is anything that threatens your safety. This is why abusive relationships are so dangerous. You're always going to be thinking about that person. Your conscious mind is always going to be flooded with, what is this person going to do next if you're with someone emotionally abusive or physically abusive? And a disproportionate amount of your attention goes to that person, and your attention isn't on yourself, your wishes, what you really want. You disconnect from yourself. The third, signals that someone is sexually interested in you or sexually attracted in you. That always gets past your subconscious mind into your conscious mind via your RAS. And then the fourth thing. So safety, sexual advances, your name. And then the fourth is your intentions. Whatever you tell your brain is important to you, the RAS will let in all the information connected to that. So as soon as you tell your brain, this is what I want, this is where I'm going, your subconscious mind will start putting those pieces together. This is because your RAS was just blocking them because they weren't important to you. As soon as it's important to you, you let it in. So if you tell your brain very specifically, this is my intention for this year, this is my intention for the next 5 years of my life, or even this is my intention for my day, without you knowing it, your subconscious will start moving you in that direction. It'll start putting pieces together as you're sleeping, and it'll start taking all the information that's around you and helping you understand how to achieve it. This is why when you set an intention, the impossible sometimes becomes possible. There's always at least 10 or 20 ways to make something happen, and your logical mind will come up with 1 or 2. But if you really prioritize it and your RAS starts working on it, maybe you'll discover 5 or 6 ways to do it, if not all 20. And a lot of times we tell our minds the wrong tasks. A lot of times we tell our minds things like, how do I make this person like me? Please, mind, make this person like me. Or we're trying to control someone's emotions. These things are just not within our circle of control. And it's a waste of your brain energy. Instead, tell your brain things like, mind, brain, I want to be happy, healthy, and joyful. That is my intention. Please make it happen. And your brain will work on that. We just often don't assign the brain the right tasks. But everything that has to do with you, that's not other people, everything that has to do with you is within your realm of possibility. And if you tell your brain to do it, it will. And it'll pick up on all the little pieces of information here and there to achieve it. So I wish you a year in which all your wishes come true. Make sure you give your brain the right tasks. And I hope that all the useful pieces of information that have to do with your happiness, your health, your thriving, your joy, your happy relationships, your creativity, that all of that gets past your RAS. Set the right intentions. And this is the science of intentions. And I'll make a video next on the science of willpower, which is just as interesting. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss it. I'll see you soon.